Hey guys, hope everyone is doing well and is in good health. We take a look at the Celtic or Celtic Astrology cards, Oracle cards from publishing group My Favorite Lo Scarabeo. The authors are Antonella, Castelli, and Dara Fitzrandolph. This is what the box will look like. It's a two-piece box, very good for keeping the cards protected, and has this beautiful sort of like blue theme all around. Now, if you were to look at the back of the box, it does indicate that it comes with one guidebook and only 26 oracle cards, which is fairly small. It goes on to say how this type of astrology in the Celtic culture is not about the stars, but more about the root earth base being alive and breathing. On opening the box, you are presented by the book, which follows the same theme design as the box, which is very nice. And inside the box, it comes with this nice little sort of like thread, but apart from that, there's nothing really special within both sides of the box, whether it be the front or the one inside. But again, like I said, you do get this lovely little thread, which makes it easy for you to pull out the cards. So overall package, you get the guidebook, two-piece box, and the cards themselves. The guidebook is a good size, but that is because it's in 5 different languages and it is also in black and white. We will take a closer look near the end of the video. Now the cards themselves do come plain edge, so as you could see here, out of the box the cards come plain edge, and you know that is how it is. And the first thing that I noticed personally with this card is how very slippery the cards are without really putting much effort in moving them. So you could see here how very slippery they are, and the reason for that is because if you look closely, they are gloss cards, which are also very reflective, as you can see. So gloss cards, um, very slippery, quite reflective, and you know it was even sunny on that day. Um, the overall back design, I personally love, and that blue theme is beautiful. I think with the variation of the blend in color from whatever angle you will look at the cards from the back, it's very nice. The overall back design has various hidden and plain inside Celtic symbols, the various entwinement in and around the borders blends so very well. And when you come to the front of the cards, you will see how it showcases that even further. The back, I think it's very nice and well done. Now the cards themselves are on the very thin side. The stock overall quality is very thin, but because of its large oracle size and it being gloss, it kind of makes up for the overall durability. Now you could see here how I'm comparing it with one of the most thinnest cards, Toro, that I can think of, and that's the Art Nouveau. They're very thin. So it kind of like comes quite fairly close. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but it gives you a rough idea. Um, almost identical. I don't think I did a great job there in kind of highlighting that. But they are very thin cards, but that doesn't mean the quality, the stock overall is bad. As you could see here, they are gloss, and that gloss and the size kind of helps it out in terms of, you know, it's overall sort of longevity. And here I'm testing the edge of the cards, and you could see they hold up pretty well. So I think overall it's pretty good, the quality. In terms of the size here, against a standard rider wise Toro size, and if you put it up against a regular standard Oracle deck, I've got the Earthcraft here. Very beautiful cards. I love those cards. Um, it's pretty much exactly the same size as your standard Oracle deck, maybe slightly bigger, but it's just by a few kind of like centimeter. And as well, they feel very comfortable in the hands. So in front of the cards, they will look like this. What you will find is at the bottom, you have the naming of the cards, which blends with various colors, which is quite fairly nice, depending on the theme. You could see here a bit of the green and so on. So wordings of the cards in the middle, and on top you will find the numbers of each of the cards just right there in the center, and the rest of it is pretty much you've got the borders entwined with various things going on, whether it be the animal, plant, and other things. So everything is alive and breathing in here. Again, nicely portrays the culture. And again, like I was saying, it kind of like follows the same sort of theme at the back of the deck. So that follows through. So yes, it's not a borderless deck, but they still have done it very well. Now, the deck is made out of two categories, split into 13 cards for each. You have the plant cards, which is here, and then you have the animal cards. Each corresponds to a time period, just like your typical star-based astrology, each with its own seasons and key qualities. So, let's have a look at our first 13 cards, 13 known as the 13 moons in the year of this culture. We start off with the plant cards. Now, for this particular category, the plant cards can be used in your reading for matters mainly relating to choices and decisions, not limited to, but as a basic starting point to get you in building that relationship with this category with these cards. The plant cards are known to be very wise due to their long-lived life beyond humans, as it's known. So this category offers you a lot of the various different perspectives that is known from these breathing lived plant-based earth-based entities. Now, taking a closer look at our cards, we had card number one, the Achiever Birch card, which is about beginning and excellence in all aspects of life. Number two was Warren the Thinker, is like an Aquarius who doesn't follow the crowds and instead follows inside his own calling, originality. Card number three, Ash the Enchanter, is Ash being the plant and the animal being the snake. The star side would be between the Aquarius and the Aries. Card number four, Fox, is the ally animal with the plant, older plant. Date of birth for this particular card is between March the 18th to April the 14th. Born in this season means you have a personal warmth about you that draws people to you. So, you never lack friends. Number five, Willow, the observer. The card's season is the summer season. The animal ally, as you could probably see around the border, is the cow. The keywords here are intuition, watchfulness. The birth date for this card is between April the 15th to May the 12th. As you can probably make out, the outside borders will have your ally animal, which is entwined with a specific season at times, be it summer, spring, and so on. It will kind of like be highlighted with that, completing the border around you. Inside the main image, you will have the character element being portrayed. So each cards will have a corresponding birth date associated with it. It's pretty much astrology, but using a different observation and making sense of one's natural world. It's a beautiful law overall. You have the positive aspects and negative aspect as well. There is a lot to learn and dive into for each particular card, so I can't really tell you everything for each cards. But one thing I will say in terms of astrology, in my opinion, I don't find these to be as intimidating as the Star Astrology, in my opinion. I think each cards um, are fairly easy to understand very quickly. So anyone who is somewhat interested, I think, will like this. Again, nothing wrong with astrology. I know it seems a lot more scary, but this one I feel is more it's a lot more easy to get into. I've found. So each animals or plant around um the particular card has a key significance. Again, it is no different from your typical sun star, for example. These plant cards here, like I said, is best for choices and decision making. This you would use them that for. It doesn't mean you can't use all 26 cards together, you can. Um, but what this particular category here will do for you is give you an insight into a particular approach. Be it, whether you should take this job offer or not, whether you should consider to stay where you are, don't go anywhere, things like that. This is where these cards will really help you with, like, let's use card number 13, the Seeker, Season of Winter. Should I take this job offer as an example? The card talks of choosing wise companions who can offer insights and assurances when the sadness creeps in too close. And then it has keywords of being thoughtful and indication of being withdrawn. So that kind of gives you an indication, maybe you should kind of hold back or really think this through before you actually jumping in, making a decision to take that job, be it or whatever. So that's like a small example. Next here, we've got the animal cards, the second category. Again, 13 in total. This category is about exploring your human soul through your animal nature, and in doing so will deepen your knowledge of self. Again, you will find the similar layout as the plant cards. Again, each cards is linked with a season: spring, summer, winter, autumn, winter. So it's pretty much exactly the same, but it's the other way round. Instead of where you had the borders of the animal, now you have the plant as your ally. So the plant being the bordered outside is your allied. So it's kind of like it's the other way around. However, it does still keep the same significance of the character in the center and also the birth date. These animal cards are more suited for questions or insight into relationship matters. Think of it like the compatibility of the star signs, but instead of the air signs with the fire signs, etc., you have here the animals instead. For example, let's just say you were the fox. So you as the fox, who would you most be compatible with, or how would you interact best with, let's just say, the next cow, the card there, the cow. So it's like, again, a different way of checking one's relationship, whether it be work or whoever, how you would interact, is it compatible or not. So this is what this kind of section of this deck does. Again, it keeps everything exactly intact. You've got the naming on the bottom, different colors. By the side of the borders, you'll have the plants. You've got the characters in the center, and the way they're interacting. That is a way of just, sort of gaining more insight into how you would relate or commune with another different animal. Let's have a look at our horse card. Its season is summer. Its keywords are strong, intelligent, and loyal. The birth date is between July the 8th to August the 4th. Compatible with the holy plant together, they will bring leadership and brilliance. The salmon, its plant ally is hazel. The season is autumn, and the keywords are wise and determined. Hazel and the salmon together would exalt in the qualities of wisdom and teachings. They also have a shadow which can cast or take form of dissatisfaction, longing, or heartaches. So, something else that these cards have, or you will find, is the shadow aspect, and it was also in the plant-based cards as well. So there are many bits for each particular card. I am trying to give you guys as much information as I can, but again, there's a lot more to them, just to keep that in mind. So you've got, again, it's like your typical astrology. So you've got compatibility with certain things, your positive aspect, your shadowy aspects, stuff you need to work on, or how you can inline things to better kind of resolve whatever difficulties that you may have. It's all in here, which is why it's an astrological deck, but based on the Celtic culture. We've got number 12, the Wolf, season winter, courageous and territorial. Anyone born under this sign is known to be fearless and deeply committed. 13, Falcon, also season of winter, focus and visionary, has a strong ability to focus. The shadow side is impulsiveness, detachment, and carelessness. Date between November the 25th to December the 23rd. So that is it, guys. These are 13 cards. That was the animal cards. Next, let's have a look at the booklet, where you'll get an idea as to how much information they kind of give you. So when you open the book, it's in black and white. You're presented with the general sort of like naming of the deck. It's got its table of contents. Again, what makes majority of the thickness of the book is because it's in 5 different languages. And the initial first page, which is your introductory page, you get on one page the back of what the deck will look like, and then you pretty much get a general breakdown, a summary of what this deck is about. So I will leave it here for as long as I can. By all means, do please pause the video at any time to kind of read the whole entire thing. I've tried to make it as clear as I can. And this is the next page following that, the kind of remaining information of what this deck is about. Again, please pause at any time to kind of fully read and interpret it the way it makes sense to you. Here on this side of the page is kind of like the wheel of the year. It's pretty much all of the information that you will have on all of the 13 cards. You see the total number 13 for each category, the plant base, the animal base, and then you've got the birth date that is associated. Again, it doesn't highlight the season, but you can kind of make out what the season is by just looking at the birth date. So that's kind of like very easy there for you to kind of interpret it and get an idea of kind of also like your quick reference. It goes on the remaining pages on how to use these cards, and it nicely explains it to you. It's fairly easy, fairly simple. The idea of, you know, discovering more about your identity gives you a rough idea of how to use these decks and both cards, category of the cards together. Rather than just one, so there's information there. And then, like I explained to you, it gives you an idea of what's best, which category is best to use, or mostly focus on the choices and decisions, and mostly beneficial if you use the plant cards. And in terms of relationship questions, that is primarily best for the animal cards. So that's there for you to kind of like gain an understanding in. And then the last part of that, how to use the cards, is the wheel of the year. Again, it kind of explains to you the moon cycle and everything else in relation to that culture. So when you come to actually reading the cards, like I said, because you've got 2 different categories, you've got the plant card section here, which will again explain to you what they are about. And then you go straight into the cards themselves, the meaning of the cards. And I guess one negative, maybe not, I don't know, to me it didn't really matter, I thought it was fine, is how it's very limited information that you're going to get on the card. So here you could see number 1, the achiever there, and I'll put the card next to it. So here's the card, and what you are going to get in the booklet is only this amount of information. But again, when you tie it up side to side with the compatible animal side, it kind of adds it up to be even a lot more. So you could see here for each particular card, for the plants, it's it's a small portion of information, and it's no different when you go to the animal sides. Some cards may have that little extra information. So you could see here, tells you what the allies are, it gives you the keywords, it will highlight to you the season, and then the characteristics of each of these particular card it will go in detail of. And here it is, you could see for each particular animal. So it's kind of like similar for both the plants. So it's a combination of the 2 together. And again, there's plenty of contents where you could go online yourself to look further into it. So I'm going to finish the video off here by doing a quick flip through of each of these cards. Hope you enjoy. So there you go, guys. That was the Celtic Astrology Oracle cards for you. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I personally have been enjoying the cards. I think they're very good. Thank you everyone for your support, my subscribers and everybody else that watches the video. Watch out for the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.